This is it, guys. The exhibition closes tomorrow, so for those that haven't made it down, I thought I would go through the exhibition for you, what's left up on the walls, what hasn't disappeared to its new home. Just show you each piece, give a little bit of background to it. So those are in India, in America, in Australia, or just the south of England, just to give you a flavour of what the exhibition's been like and let you see the work that's been on show. So let's start. So first up is this image, Borderlands at Peace, made up at Mailhome Tower. It is actually part of a vlog that I actually done earlier in the year that you can find on the channel elsewhere. Very much a homage to late Turner's work. Definitely one of my favourite images of the year so far. So this one had to go in. So we've got two smaller images here. We've got Priory Church Ruins, East Elevation, Lindisfarne, this one, which was like the main promo image of the exhibition. And on the left here we have Harbottle Castle Ruins, and that was made in a very early vlog, pretty much near the beginning of my channel, where these videos were even more terrible than what they are at the minute. Both of them, I think I've actually cooled off on how much I like this one, but this one is still very much a favourite. One I keep on going back to, just love that yellow in it, really do. Just can't wait to get that one back on my wall at home. So here we've got the two big boys of the exhibition, the two canvases that I was persuaded to do. So we've got a great big canvas, so these are 40 by 30 inches. So I did have to adjust the aspect ratio just for the exhibition, so I've had to recrop. So again, this one, just like I showed you before, is from the east elevation of the Priory Ruins on Lindisfarne. This one is Priory in yellow. This was made basically days before I had to decide what to put in the exhibition. So that was a very late entry, and it was really nice and vivid, so that's why it's on the canvas and not on the paper. So the other big canvas, again 40 by 30 inches, is this one. It is Psychedelic Harbottle Castle, and it really due to the very great, unreal kind of colours that are part of the image. See all these turquoise blues in the top, that really vivid yellow, just really made the image for me, and it's one that very much came around late in processing. Get the way I obviously work is just build images up with layers, and just randomly I decided to scroll through the blend modes of one layer to the difference blend mode, and it came out all of a sudden pretty close to this. So I decided to run with it and just tweak the colours a little bit further, enhance certain areas, and we've ended up with this. And I think this looks fantastic on canvas. That just huge scale, and obviously the vivid colours that really sit well on canvas really help this image. So to me, that's one of the big highlights of the exhibition. So we've got a couple of A2s here, or prints within an A2 frame. At the top we've got the Winged Beast, which is a personal favourite. It's one of these dreamt up, and he's got a weird imagination kind of images that's based on my intake of some basic literature and a few films and that whole fantasy world, thinking Lord of the Rings, World of Warcraft, that kind of thing. So to my interpretation of that image, is this beast with wings climbing out of a volcano. And then the one lower down, this is a walk by the Kirkut, walk with keep looking on. This image really goes for latches onto my love of reds oranges and yellows. There's not a lot of yellow there, but there's a hell of a lot of deep oranges within that. So you just keep just looking up over the top of it, of all the undergrowth that seems to have grown in Walkworth over the years. So yeah, really like that one. I was worried initially when I first made it that there was a bit nothing here, and I would like to have had more of the castle filling more of the frame, but I think just overlooking the scene works quite well. So another couple of images I'm really happy with. So next up we've got a couple of smaller ones again, smaller being A2, which is still colossal to me. Top one we have Bamborough from the South, which is probably my most minimalist, painterly, very loose watercolour type of image. So you can only just get the impression of the outline of Bamborough Castle from the south in this area here, and it looks very foggy or misty or just very loose. I did worry when I think I made this image about maybe 18 months to 2 years ago, and it was in a period where I was wondering whether there was actually ever going to be any subject in my images ever again. Thankfully I snapped out of that phase and we did get a bit more subject and a few more outlines afterwards. But yeah, really like that one, and of course it was going to be in the exhibition. So down here is a very minimal take on Lindisfarne Castle. Made, I think this one was maybe February time I made this. Absolutely loved it once I'd actually got to the point of getting this shape in here. But to me, one of the highlights of the year. Really love it. Did obviously used to do a lot of black and white minimalist long exposure work, and to me this is almost as close to that as I can get it in a minimalist kind of feel. And the fact it just looks like almost just two very small brush strokes to make the shape really does it for me. So again, really love that and deserves its place in the exhibition. So this wall, which should really be 3 images, was my favourite thing about the exhibition, is because you could come through through the door of the room and it looked fantastic. Unfortunately the middle one has not been sold. It is actually the float mounted print has actually dropped, and we've only got a day to go, so there's no point putting it back together for one day. So unfortunately that is dropped, so my favourite view is no longer with us, but I have got a couple of phone shots where I was really happy with it. I just loved it, and also I don't know if you can actually see it in the frame of this video. I will take a shot anyway. It's just the shadow of the light bulb above them. I don't know what it was about it, but I just loved it. So this one here at the end, the final voyage, is very much a favourite of all the work I've ever done in this style. Really up there, definitely top 5 of everything I've ever done. Really pleased with this print, how it came out, because I was worried when I was printing it that it wasn't going to have the same impact. But yeah, it turned out fantastic, a real highlight of the show. Really happy with it, and looking forward to this one being on my wall at home in the not too distant future. There's a few I will definitely be keeping for the time being, all framed up. So love that one, can't wait to get it home. Just love it. So the one that was hanging here is the Dodo Stone Circle image, which again is it was definitely my favourite image from last year, and it's probably top 3 of all the images I've ever made. But I will obviously show you it right now. So the last one of the 3 hero images is Faltering Under the Furies 2017, with a few special tweaks for the exhibition. Again, a real highlight of the images I've made over my time doing ICM photography and this whole abstract stuff, a real highlight, obviously an image of two sides. You've got this light area here and then a very intense black from here, which did scare me for printing purposes. But in preparation for the exhibition, I did a lot of extra work to this image, because basically this area here, down in this corner, that is all hand painted with a Wacom tablet in Photoshop, just to really give it a bit more substance, because I think beforehand there was something just a little bit lacking with it. But again, looking forward to this one being on my wall at home. Well, we're getting through them now. There's one more to look at. This image, Church Tower in Autumn Mists. This is one, being honest, is one that I have come to not dislike, but feel that it's just not quite as good as others that are in the exhibition. So had I done it again, I would maybe have swapped this one out for a different shot. Maybe something that's in my portfolio book would have brought forward and put up on the wall in this format. But before the exhibition, I did like it. Maybe there's just something lacking in the print that maybe when I actually printed it looked fine, but as time has gone on, maybe there's just not that, because there's not a lot of structure to the image. It is quite loose and flat looking, really, so maybe it just does lack something. But anyways, still looks great framed up like this. That's one thing. I've really loved having everything framed up in this style, float mounted in these white frames. Look fantastic. But yeah, if I'd had me time again, I would have swapped that one out. So the last one I'm going to show you is this one, Sea Spray, taken down looking across the Dunsonborough on a YouTube meetup with some fellow landscape YouTube fellas. This is one, again, is probably one of the highlights of the exhibition. It's one that a lot of people have actually commented on as really liking, which I'm really pleased about. To me, there's a hell of a lot of drama and a lot of action in the shot. All that wave action coming, breaking on the shore on the rocks in front of you. I think it just really works really well. This is one image which in post I actually sampled colours from a JPEG rendering. I think from the Tate. I actually took colours from an image of Turner's and superimposed them using some weird post-processing trickery. It did, when I actually did it, it did look like it had aged the image. Give you some of that maybe a bit of burnt sienna, that type of thing into it. So that really worked a treat. Really happy with it and deserved its place in the exhibition. So before it disappeared off to a new home, hanging in that place was the ruins of St Mary's Abbey, York, which I will put on screen now. And that one was an image that I really loved from a few years ago, and it was basically banging standing in exactly the same spot as what Turner was when he did a sketch back in, I don't know, 1799 or something like that. So basically took his view and fleshed it out with my own style as a direct homage to his work, mixing in with his early architectural sketching and his looser later work. If you think from his 1840s stuff from Norham and that kind of stuff, that was my homage directly to him, taking in a view that he'd actually shot. He's not a photographer, he was a painter. An image that he'd actually sketched, and I don't think he actually completed it as a finished watercolour or oil later on. I think it was always just left as a sketch. So that was my way of finishing his work. So I love that one, and I love that was part of the exhibition, and I'm pleased as punch that it's actually found a new home as well. So that's been hopefully a brief look through the exhibition for those of you who didn't make it up to see it or just couldn't get to it in time. So hopefully you've enjoyed that look around, and fingers crossed there'll be another one coming up in the future, which may be nearer to yourselves, or if your circumstances change, then you can get to wherever the next one is. So I just want to say thanks to Penny and Dale that run the gallery. Thanks to them for a summer of fun. It's been great coming down here regularly and meeting up with people that have been visiting. Thank you to everybody that's come along to actually see the exhibition. Thank you to everybody that's commented and wished us good luck for it. All very much appreciated, and I can't thank you enough. It's really boosted my confidence to the point where I can see light at the end of tunnels and things when it comes to this career. So I just want to say thanks for that. And so until the next video, keep hard. See you soon. See ya.